You know what I'm saying?
All right, I'm on.
You know what it is. We live, baby. I ain't gonna lie to you. Had to switch it up on you, my boy. You thought it was one game, but I switched it to another. I ain't gonna lie to you. Had to get a little rivalry going. Went and watched Clements and Austin High play. That's what I watched. Still some Fort Bend teams, but Clements and Austin High, man, it was a good game. It was a really good game.
Yeah, Clements, we covered them in basketball last year, right?
We did.
Divine played on.
We did.
They had that 7-footer, a 7-foot senior, Chris Jones, I think his name.
Bro, homie.
Yeah. Tell me about their football team.
But like I said, they still got some ballers on their football team as well. They had a couple key players that I want to highlight in here. They got from Clements, George, and I can't say his last name. He's a running back, number 2. I'm gonna try it. No, I'm not. His name's George. Number 3, his name's Trey. That quarterback, and he's also a punter, which is a side note that I'm gonna get to in a minute because he also punted the ball, which I thought was kind of interesting. His name's Trey Riviera. And then number 21, Cole, was a receiver for Clements. He was actually like I noticed in high school games they lean a lot on the same players, and not every school does that, but Clements and Austin High both did the same thing. They leaned on their players.
I think that has a lot to do with the fact that when you're at that level, at the high school level, is where you find some of the hugest talent gaps between individuals.
Yeah.
So you'll find certain athletes that's just great athletes, or guys that's just real good at the job that they have. And so they rely on them more. Once you get to college, those gaps shrink because everybody there got at a school that's on your level. They got scholarships because of how well they play. And then everybody in the pros, they were that player that was being leaned on by their high school team.
Yeah. So the game starts off pretty smooth, bro. Clements ends up scoring 6-0. They missed the extra point, which a lot of times they went for 2 because they were missing extra points. But number 2, they running back.
Wait. Before you go on, was that quarterback kicking those extra points?
No, he was not. Nah, it was a whole different kicker. He was just kicking their field goals. They punter was the quarterback, which was, like I said, was crazy. But number 2 on their team, Alan George. But George broke for multiple 60-yard runs, bro, in this game. He broke 2 in the game, but the first one was nasty. Yeah. It was just a side cut, and it was to the crib. You know what I'm saying? And you could tell. Yeah. I think this kid definitely probably had at least 30 to 35 carries, bro. At least.
Really?
Yes. Throughout the game. Workload. Yeah, man. Throughout the game, they just had him tooting the ball. Austin High.
I was just about to say he ain't got nothing on my boy Trey Hill out there in Katy.
Nah.
But Trey Hill got a good backup. He ain't taking 30 carries.
And the offensive line is nasty at Katy, but that's another note we're gonna get to another day. So the quarterback for Austin High, number 10, he throws a little out route to number 1. They get on the board, right? 6-7. They end up getting the extra point. This game kind of goes on like this the whole time. This is another reason why I wanted to watch this game. I'm not gonna give you the final, but it was a very close game. So 6-7, like I said, Austin gets the ball. They end up getting out. It was a lot of back and forth. There was a lot of back and forth. Austin High, and they end up scoring, and then they get back on offense after Clements goes 3 and out. Then that's when I saw their punter. Like I said, the QB is also the punter for Clements. That was really smart to me because I feel like if there was a time for him to fake it, he could have done it, which he did not do the whole game. The whole game, they did not ever snap him the ball.
Everybody can't be Carday Mack, fam. Everybody can't be young Carday. Shout out.
So, QB number 3, whenever Clements gets they end up getting the ball back. They end up scoring. So the score ends up being what I got here. Score is 14-7 with the 2-point conversion because they scored a 2-point conversion with 2 minutes left in the first, right? So 14-7. It's a close game. Austin High's running back's pretty nice. Number 4. I think I said his name down here. He is Trent McCoy. So Trent McCoy for Austin High was nice. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and highlight the Austin High players that I saw. Kyrie Flowers. I probably said that wrong. Come get me, my guy, if you need to. Trent McCoy is their running back. He's number 4. Number 10 is he's a quarterback also / receiver, Luke Chapman. And then number 22 was Jeremiah Hadnot, which I liked him the most out of this game. He didn't get a bulk of Hadnot, which he should have. He should have got a bulk of the carries, bro. There was one play in the game where I think he broke for like a 40 or 30 yard run. to get them down to the 5, and then they sub in number 4, Trent McCoy, and he punches it in. Which, me personally, I'm like, man, coach, put me back in the game.
Once I drop the ball, give me a shot at that TV.
Punch me back in the game, man. So going into half, the score was 26 to 28. I think going into the half, right? Which again, like I said, close game. They come out, the ball was moving, but they were doing what the Texans do. They get into the red zone and they didn't score. There was 2 or 3 times where both Austin High and Clements got down into the 5 and they turned the ball over on the 5, which I would think you would kick a field goal. You would kick a field goal right there. It wasn't happening. So they also did Austin High was also, or Clements was also doing squib kicks. They weren't doing full on kickoffs. Yeah. They were squib kicking it. Austin High just recovering it.
What does that say about their trust in their place kicker? So they're going for it on 4th downs and losing it at the 5-yard line. They squib kicking it. This sounds like a school or a program that does not have a lot of faith in their place kicker.
Yeah, I also think that maybe they were trusting their defense because the defense was balling out. I didn't say his name. Actually, I did. Number 0, he was a DB and a receiver for Austin High. He caught an interception in the game, which I thought was great. It looked good.
Young Travis Hunt.
Yeah. He played real well. You just didn't really see a lot of like stand-out players, in which I've seen a lot in high school. It's either the quarterback or running back, or there's one really dope receiver in there, which they have them. So the final score ends up being 28-33 Austin High.
That sounds like a good game.
It was a great game, man. We'll throw up some of the highlights so you can see all of them, but for the most part, it was a really good game between 2 good teams, and I also noticed that they are rivals. I don't know how close they are to each other, but they're rivals. It was a rivalry game.
Do you know anything about do you know any details about their rivalry?
Nah, I'd love to hear more about it. I figured they must be close to each other because I hadn't really heard about. I've always heard of Clements, but Austin High must either be new or something because I haven't heard too much about them.
Yeah, I don't know.
I didn't see any top 10 players. I didn't see any top 100 players. I went through the Vibe magazine. Shout out to Vibe, and I just didn't really see any crazy stars. But the game was great, and they also are great players. You know what I'm saying? That shows you the talent in Texas, in Houston, not alone. Texas is great, but in Houston alone, there are so many players that just not all of them make that list.
Yeah, that's the truth. Yeah. That's the truth. Well, it sounded like you had a nice show to watch that day.
Man, I watched the whole game from start to finish. There was no skips. I watched it all the way to the end. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I like to see. I love seeing some hard-nosed football, bro, and that's great to see, especially at the high school level. Keep doing y'all thing.
Yeah, and then before we go, there's one more thing that really stands out when you have a game like this that's based on a rivalry, which is highlighted more so than key players in the game. I think that takes your focus away from looking at the individuals and watching everybody like at the same playing field. Yeah, so you see who's going to stand out in the key game.
Yeah. Football, that's how it is in Texas, baby.
Yes, sir.
Raised on the OGs, big homies, always told me, stay low key, never speak to the